Start talking, please.
Alright, today I'm talking about psychedelics and semi-psychedelics. So like lysergic sour diethylamide, lysergic acid, magic mushrooms, N,N-dimethyltryptamine, 3,4-methylene-dioxymethamphetamine, that's a mouthful, or ecstasy, ayahuasca, and mescaline. You may have heard some myths such as if you drop acid, you'll see pink elephants. If you take acid 7 or more times, you're legally insane. You can get stuck on a psychedelic trip forever. Psychedelics are physically harmful to your body, and many more things along those lines. So I'm going to start by setting the record straight. No, not even close. Psychedelic drugs are entheogenic compounds that are similar in molecular structure to serotonin. And NN-DMT is produced by your brain and is hypothesized to be the source of dream states, hallucinogenic near-death states, and to be released during death to help your body ease into the process. This means that these substances physically are safe. As for forever getting stuck in a trip, the closest thing you can have is called HPPD, or hallucinogen persisting perception disorder. This just means that for a few days or even weeks after a psychedelic experience, you can have the same increased visual acuity, brightened colors, or maybe even tracers or trails of objects as they cross your visual field. So why am I discussing these with you today? That's easy. I want to discuss the misconceptions you may have and explain the benefits to these compounds. Also, I feel it's important to state my opinions on these compounds. I do not condone the use of these drugs. However, I think it is important to reclassify them as medicines, not recreational drugs. While there will always be people who drop acid before a music festival to see pretty colors, I'm not supporting this type of use for these. I am for using them as a healing power, as medicine. First off, they're catalysts for higher consciousness and spirituality. These two things are very important. Whether it's theocratic or meditative, these two aspects of your life are essential to remaining balanced and managing your stress. Psychedelic states help you to understand the connection between your conscious mind and your physical brain. Without this vital connection made, you could very easily be stuck in a rut of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. I'd also like to preface that I do not directly condone the use of these substances, and they are not for everyone. A lot of these effects you can experience on your own through meditation or other spiritual activities. Next up, they can provide breakthroughs in therapy sessions, whether it be psychotherapy, like with a shrink, or addiction therapy with AA. These substances can provide insight into your past and even into your present to help you kick bad habits and better yourself and deal with your imperfections. With this, psychotherapists can make huge step forwards in understanding why you have issues you do, whether they're depressive, anxiety, bipolar, and even more psychotic disorders like schizophrenia. Now, there is a counter to the positivity. These can leave very negative footprints on your life. If you are not in a positive condition or a comfortable setting, or the people around you treat you badly or give you negative overall feelings, these compounds will amplify those feelings. Do not, I repeat, do not go into these experiences with a faint heart. It can be mentally endangering or even in rare cases, a fatal mistake. Researchers at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine have stated that these are nothing if not powerful drugs, and this is when discussing their ability to potentiate any possible thing you may be feeling going into it. While they do have the potential to benefit your life incredibly until the day you die, they have the same power to do exactly the opposite. You can experience intense post-traumatic stress from these horrifying negative experiences you can experience if you take these substances for granted and don't respect them in the way that they deserve. Another group of questions you may have are, well, are they physically harmful? Are they addictive? They are good questions. And my black and white answer, no and no. These substances, given that they are what you think they are, not some lethal research chemical, are not at all dangerous to your body. They can hinder brain growth if you take them too early on in your life, so around before the age of 25, depending on the different person, but that's a pretty good average age of finishing brain development. But that is the case with all substances, really. As long as you wait until the proper age, your body won't be damaged from these substances. As for addiction, these compounds actually exhibit anti-addictive qualities. These compounds latch onto your serotonin receptors for a few hours, a day or so maximum, and once the effects and the afterglow effect is gone, so is the substance. You don't get any physical cravings for the substance like you would with, say, amphetamines or opiates. However, the more profound answer is, well, it all comes down to the experience. At the end of the day, everyone will be affected by these chemicals differently due to a difference in brain chemistry. You could freak out and think the only way out of the negative situation is suicide, and you could be in a state of mind where you didn't think that your consciousness had any sort of opening effect from your last trip, even though you didn't sit down and integrate your experience. As of now, as well as the past almost 6 decades, the legal status of psychedelic drugs is somewhat dismal compared to their positive potential. They are listed as Schedule I illegal compounds in the United States. In the 1960s, roughly 20 years after Albert Hofmann discovered the psychedelic properties of LSD, the United States halted its psychedelic research and made LSD and many other psychedelics illegal to the public. Now, why did they do this? To make a long story short, they didn't understand them and didn't want any negative cases that could have possibly come out of the research to fault them and lose even more faith from the public eye than they already did with the Vietnam War. So what do we do now? Well, the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine is currently researching the effects of psychedelics on the human mind. For example, in recent discoveries made by the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences, LSD causes different parts of your brain that synthesize different pieces of information to communicate with each other. Usually, your visual cortex is very segregated from other parts of your brain. However, on LSD, it communicates information with many other parts of your brain, which causes tracers, breathing, fractals, wider sounds, and other hallucinations. In LSD-assisted psychotherapy, the person in charge, the therapist, can usually use different tactics to trigger memories to embody themselves in your visual and auditory hallucinations. So from here on out, let's try and open up our minds to something before going off of the society-built preconceptions. If you use these as a tool to improve yourself and connect your astral mind with your physical brain, then you will reap the benefits of what you sowed through these plant medicines. It is crucial to do your own research and not just listen to me, the long-haired guy that listens to rock music and meditates before bed. These chemicals, when used properly, can have extremely profound physical effects on your life, but when not given the respect that they deserve, they will demand it. Thank you.
So much. All the speakers.